Welcome to the Introduction to English Grammar. This course will provide a foundational understanding of the key grammatical concepts in English. By the end, you'll be familiar with basic sentence structures, parts of speech, and how to construct clear and correct sentences. What is grammar? Grammar is the system and structure of a language. It includes rules on how words are used, how they form sentences, and how meaning is conveyed. In English, grammar helps us communicate effectively by ensuring clarity and precision. Basic sentence structure. A sentence is a group of words that expresses a complete thought. In English, a sentence must have two main parts: subject, the person, place, or thing performing the action; predicate, the part of the sentence that describes the action or provides more information about the subject. Example: subject, the dog. Predicate is barking. Full sentence: the dog is barking. Basic sentence types: declarative statement, she is a teacher. Interrogative question, are you coming? Imperative command, close the door. Exclamatory, strong feeling, what a beautiful day. Parts of speech. English words are divided into different categories called parts of speech. Each part plays a specific role in a sentence. English words are divided into different categories called parts of speech. Each part plays a specific role in a sentence. Nouns, words that name people, places, things, or ideas. Examples: John City book, happiness. Pronouns, words that replace nouns to avoid repetition. Examples: he, she, they. Verbs, words that express actions or states of being. Examples: run, jump, is, have. Adjectives, words that describe nouns. Examples: happy, blue, tall, exciting. Adverbs, words that describe verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. They often end in ly. Examples: quickly, very softly. 6. Prepositions, words that show the relationship between a noun or pronoun and another word in the sentence. Examples: in, on, at, over, under. 7. Conjunctions, words that connect clauses, sentences, or words. Examples: and, but, because, although. Interjections, words or phrases that express strong emotion. Examples: wow, ouch, hey. Nouns and pronouns. Nouns. Nouns can be classified into different types. Common nouns, general names, e.g., city, dog, car. Nouns. Specific names, always capitalized, e.g., Paris, John, Toyota. Countable nouns, things that can be counted, e.g., apple, car. Uncountable nouns, things that cannot be counted, e.g., water, advice. Pronouns. Pronouns replace nouns to avoid repetition. Subject pronouns: I, you, he, she, it, we, they. Object pronouns: me, you, him, her, it, us, them. Possessive pronouns: my, your, his, her, it's, our, their. Verbs and tenses. A verb shows an action or a state of being. Verbs are essential in constructing sentences, and their form changes according to the tense. Verb tenses: present, describes actions happening now or regularly. Example: she runs every day. Past, describes actions that happened in the past. Example: he ran yesterday. Future, describes actions that will happen in the future. Example: they will run tomorrow. Regular versus irregular verbs. Regular verbs: add ed for the past tense. Example: play, played. Irregular verbs do not follow regular patterns. Example: go, went, take, took. Adjectives and adverbs. Adjectives. Adjectives describe nouns and provide more information about them. They can show size, color, shape, and more. Example: the tall building, the red car. Adverbs. Adverbs describe how, when, where, or to what extent something happens. They often modify verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. Example: she sings beautifully, modifying a verb. He is very tall, modifying an adjective. They ran too quickly, modifying another. Adverb. Prepositions. Prepositions are small words that show relationships between other words in a sentence, often indicating direction, time, or position. Common prepositions: in, on, at, by, with, under, over, between, behind. Examples: the book is on the table. He arrived at 5 o'clock. Sentence types: simple sentence, contains one independent clause. Example: I like pizza. Compound sentence, contains two independent clauses joined by a conjunction. Example: I like pizza, but I prefer pasta. Complex sentence, contains an independent clause and one or more dependent clauses. Although it was raining, we went outside. Subject-verb agreement. In English, the subject and verb must agree in number. A singular subject takes a singular verb, and a plural subject takes a plural verb. Examples: he runs every day. Singular subject plus singular verb. They run every day. Plural subject plus plural verb. Common grammar mistakes to avoid. Run-on sentences. Avoid combining too many ideas without proper punctuation. Fragmented sentences. Make sure each sentence has both a subject and a predicate. Misplaced modifiers. Ensure descriptive words are placed near the word they. Modify. Clauses and phrases. In English grammar, a clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb. Clauses can be independent, stand alone as a sentence, or dependent, require additional information to form a complete thought. Independent clause can stand alone as a complete sentence. Example: I went to the store. Dependent clause cannot stand alone and needs an independent clause to complete its meaning. Example: although I was tired, I went to the store. A phrase, on the other hand, is a group of words that does not contain both a subject and a verb. It functions as a part of speech within a sentence. Example: in the garden after the movie. Understanding how clauses and phrases work will help you create more complex and nuanced sentences. The passive voice. The passive voice is used when the focus is on the action rather than the subject performing the action. In passive constructions, the subject receives the action of the verb. Example: the cake was eaten by the children. Passive example: the children ate the cake. Active. The passive voice is often used in formal writing or when the subject is unknown or unimportant. Conditional sentences. Conditional sentences express a condition and the result of that condition. There are several types of conditional sentences, but the most common are: a zero conditional, used for general truths or scientific facts. Example: if you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. First conditional, used for real, possible future situations. Example: if it rains tomorrow, we will cancel the trip. Second conditional, used for hypothetical or unlikely situations in the present or future. Example: if I won the lottery, I would travel the world. Mastering conditional sentences allows you to discuss possibilities and hypothetical scenarios with greater ease. Modal verbs. Modal verbs are auxiliary verbs that express necessity, possibility, permission, or ability. Some common modal verbs include: can, ability or possibility, I can swim. May, permission or possibility, may I leave the table? Must, obligation or necessity, you must wear a seatbelt. Should, advice or suggestion, you should study for the exam. Modal verbs do not change form based on the subject, and they are always followed by the base form of the main verb. Relative clauses. Relative clauses give additional information about a noun. They begin with relative pronouns such as who, which, that, whose, or whom. Defining relative clauses provide essential information about the noun. Example: the man who lives next door is a doctor. Non-defining relative clauses provide extra, non-essential information and are usually set off by commas. Example: my brother who lives in London is coming to visit. Relative clauses help you combine sentences and provide more detail without repetition. Conclusion. This introduction has covered the fundamental elements of English grammar. sentence structure, parts of speech, tenses, and common mistakes. Understanding these basics will help you communicate more effectively in both written and spoken English.